Not far from the city of Baghdad, there was a small settlement where an old man was spending the final days of his life. His name was Hakim. He was a quiet, humble, yet wise man. He had 5 sons. His eldest son was Joseph, a landowner. Joseph worked hard all day in the fields, plowing the land, managing crops, and supervising labor. However, while serving his aging father, he often felt irritated. Deep in his heart, he would wonder when this responsibility would finally end. Every evening, when Joseph returned home exhausted from the fields, his old father Hakim silently sensed his son's tiredness. Hakim's heart was filled with deep love for Joseph, yet he never expressed it in words. He would simply lower his gaze and remain silent. After some time, Hakim noticed a change in Joseph's behavior. He realized that Joseph was crushed under the burden of work and responsibilities and had begun to feel that his old father was now a burden to him. Joseph's cold attitude deeply troubled Hakim. He wished to spend the last years of his life in peace, but his son's indifference made him sorrowful. One day, Hakim called Joseph close and said softly, "My son, I know your burden has increased. Do not worry. I will not stay with you much longer. In a few days, I will go and live with one of your brothers. Focus on your work in life. Do not be concerned about me." Joseph remained silent. A small wave of guilt rose in his heart, but no words came to his lips to stop his father. A few days later, Hakim left Joseph's house and went to live with his second son, Farouk, who was a successful businessman and lacked nothing in wealth. However, Farouk's behavior was also disappointing. Business mattered more to him than his father, and his wife completely ignored her father-in-law, never even bothering to speak to him. Hakim spent his days sitting quietly in a corner, carrying the pain of his son's changing love in his heart, yet never complaining. One day, influenced by his wife, Farouk said to his father, "Father, you should help me in my business so that your presence can be useful to me." Hakim remained silent. His bent back, weak hands, and exhausted body testified that he was no longer capable of any labor. Still, he did not feel offended, because he understood that Farouk measured him by responsibility, not by love. Disturbed by Hakim's coughing and pain throughout the night, Farouk's wife said, "This old man is troubling us even more. He has other sons, he can live with them." Farouk, showing a lack of character, said to his father, "If you feel uncomfortable here, you may go to another son. I will send money for your treatment. Do not worry." These words wounded Hakim's self-respect deeply. He realized that for Farouk, his presence was merely a burden. Hakim then went to his third son, Usman, a hard-working farmer. Usman respected his father but had little time. He spent his days in the fields and his evenings with his wife and children. He never noticed his father's illness or deep sadness. Usman's wife would often leave the children with Hakim, asking him to watch them. The old man, trembling with weakness and sickness, would feel intense sorrow seeing this. His condition worsened day by day, and eventually, he left that house as well. This time, Hakim decided to go to his fourth son, Ahmed, a greedy and deceitful man. Ahmed welcomed his father warmly at first, but only out of greed. When he realized that Hakim had no wealth, he too began to neglect him. Ahmed's wife considered Hakim a burden and mistreated him constantly. Ahmed, busy with his business, paid no attention to his father's declining health. Eventually, he said coldly, "Father, you cannot stay here. I don't have time to look after you. You must go somewhere else." Broken-hearted, Hakim decided to go to his last son, Abdullah. Abdullah was the youngest and poorest of all. He was a hard-working laborer who earned daily wages. From his small income, he bought medicines for his father and managed household expenses. His wife was also kind and sincere. She took care of Hakim with love, understanding his illness and old age. Seeing their respect and affection, Hakim felt happiness return to his heart. He spent his days peacefully in Abdullah's home. With time, Hakim fell seriously ill. Abdullah was deeply distressed and often cried, as he never saw his father as a burden, but as a true blessing. He served him with devotion and love. One day, Hakim called Abdullah close and said in a weak voice, "My son, my final days are near. My breaths are now counted. May Allah always keep you blessed and prosperous for the way you served me." Abdullah replied tearfully, "Father, please do not leave us. How will we live without you?" Hakim smiled and said, "This is the path of truth. Everything must return to its creator." Then Hakim said, "I have one last trust for you. After my death, go to a man named Jabir in a specific street of Baghdad. Tell him that Hakim has passed away, and he will give you what I left in his care. This trust is only for you. Do not give anything to your brothers." Soon after, Hakim passed away. Abdullah informed his brothers and invited them to the funeral. The brothers who once considered their father a burden now gathered together. Abdullah told them about the trust. Though Hakim had left it only for him, Abdullah insisted on sharing it equally. Driven by greed, the brothers agreed. When the chest was opened, it contained property documents of valuable shops in Baghdad's main market, jewelry belonging to their mother, and gold coins. Abdullah honestly divided everything among his brothers. But time revealed the truth. One brother fell into debt due to poor decisions and lost his house. Another was caught stealing and sent to prison. The rest failed in every venture they tried. It was as if the consequences of neglecting their father followed them. On the other hand, Abdullah started a business in Baghdad. He bought fine cloth and sold it in the market. Through honesty, hard work, and his father's prayers, he prospered greatly, eventually becoming the owner of the entire market. The same brothers who once felt superior now came to Abdullah for help. Being kind-hearted, Abdullah helped them and never sent them away empty-handed. One day, Abdullah bought a large house in a developed area of Baghdad and lived peacefully with his wife and children. He often said, "My father's prayers made me wealthy, but losing his presence left my heart empty. May Allah grant him the highest place in paradise." Moral lessons. Parents' service is the greatest duty of children. Never consider parents a burden, time turns the wheel. Love, respect, and kindness toward parents bring success in this world and the hereafter.